Yeah, just a little chill music for you guys.
Yeah, not too bad.
Zach's like, wait a minute, I like the other one. We were gonna play the other music, but hey, you know what? We got some storms on the way tomorrow night. We got potential for heavy rain. Did some push-ups too.
Yeah, we did.
Zach and
Had
I
to get the blood flowing.
the push-up
know.
bros. That's right.
Weather is about to get active, so we have to train for it.
You got it. And I haven't been to the gym in the last couple of days, but I am going tomorrow morning. There's just no doubts about that.
Yeah, because the weekend forecast is looking active, and there might not be a lot of time for the gym, especially maybe Sunday morning, Easter Sunday morning,
Yeah, exactly.
because that could be the worst of it.
Oh, well, let's run you through everything here. If you saw our newscast, this will basically break down everything. There's not a whole lot of extra information we can provide at this time. A lot of people are going to see rain. I mean, everybody's basically going to see rain from this system at some point. Some people will get more than others. We are expecting the heaviest corridor to be in western Benton County, unlike the system in early April. So, hey, we got Elvis on here. So I'm just going to start right away with the HRRR model. Now, keep in mind, this isn't perfect. It doesn't show exactly what's going to happen, but it gives you an idea of how much thunderstorm activity there really could be in place. We know this, Zach. There's a ton of energy. There's a lot of energy coming in, and the models aren't going to get everything perfect. So let's get into it and show you the future track model with the thunderstorm activity. So first of all, tomorrow morning, pretty quiet, not much happening. But as we go throughout the day, those showers and storms will start moving in. Now, Razorback baseball doing a doubleheader, and I think that's a good idea as you have the break in the thunderstorm activity during the early afternoon. Now, there could be a stray pop-up storm during the late afternoon, but I think the better chances come in around 7, 8 o'clock. So this will be close to the end of their second game in the doubleheader, and I think there could maybe be some lightning delays. So we'll be watching that. It doesn't look too bad, right? I think this model's a little underdone on that, but look at the thunderstorm activity that pops up after 10 o'clock.
Yeah, I think that could be the time frame Friday. So 10, 11, and midnights. And some of the models even have close to 4 or 5 a.m. That could be a problem right there.
That shows a pretty strong storm. And keep in mind, if there aren't any storms in the river valley all day, that'll be more fuel for that storm to come through. Now, the models didn't show this earlier. They had basically all the storm activity remaining to the northwest. See, that's the thing. These little pieces of energy are coming in, and the models are like, maybe it rain or it might not rain. Here's the deal. This last system, late March, early April, we knew there was going to be rain, but the models really struggled on that a couple of days out, too. They didn't have a whole lot of storm activity. So now we continue to move along. This is the all-important time, Saturday. So Saturday morning, a lot of thunderstorms, rain, occasional lightning, maybe not as much lightning as what we'll see on Friday night, but still more fuel swinging in. That's stratiform precipitation, those yellows and oranges. That's behind the line. That's going to be some energy that basically provides what's called stratiform lightning.
And look at those storms going into Logan and Scott County. Those could be pretty strong.
Those could be strong to severe, and that's late morning, Saturday. So, and then you'll see it as it shifts off, more storms develop to the southwest. So the atmosphere reloads, and the energy that's coming in on our Sunday is stronger, and it will have a little bit of energy kicking out, and this system becomes negatively tilted. So multiple waves of precipitation. Oh, look at that.
Hey,
Josh, what's going on? Josh, good to hear from you.
We miss you.
Will the storm Saturday be perfect for ghost hunting? Yeah, actually, those will be.
That'll be a good background.
That'll be a good background, some rumbles of thunder, some lightning, because Saturday night is when the storms start to crank back up. And we'll show you that here. In fact, there's the excessive rainfall forecast. Now, we're not hyping and dooming and glooming this. We're just saying what the Weather Prediction Center has. They're experts on heavy rain. It makes sense with the training of the storms over the same area, kind of like railroad cars on a train track. And so the biggest threat for this go around, Bethany, is going to be flooding as we go into our Saturday and Saturday night. Now, we still have some energy coming in on Sunday that I'll show you, but that is what we've got. So here is a look at Sunday in the morning hours. I'm going to go back a little bit in time. Someone's asking about if there's going to be a break Saturday. There could be, but then again, the models could be underdoing the amount of storm activity. So I personally believe there might be a brief break during the early afternoon as storms continue to develop to the northwest, but I wouldn't count on it.
Yeah, I wouldn't make any big plans for Saturday, especially outdoors. You would probably have to cancel those.
And see, Elvis is talking about, they have the Hogtown. They have Woo Pig Saturday, and all that stuff. So we're going to be watching that. Brendan's asking about the tornado potential. That is going to be fairly low. And here's the reason. I just think that I think the tornado potential is low because we're going to have training storms over the same area. A lot of the cells will be undercut by the cold front. Initial development could have a little bit of tornado potential, and that's what we're looking at. So here's a great question. Could you explain why the Weather Channel differs greatly with your scheduled forecast? Is it simply forecasting and modeling, or is it because the Weather Channel is nationwide and local? So, I don't know exactly. You tell me what they're saying and what we're saying. All we know is that there's a reason that we call it Baja Blast energy. And you'll see, as well as all of us, that there's so much little disturbance energy that you can see with this system that's coming in that the models just aren't going to handle perfectly. So if we step through this, each one of these spins with the amount of instability can form thunderstorms. So the model might not show that everything is lining up to form a storm, but we know better. And that's why you have little waves of energy like this. So this actually could develop some rain by as early as tomorrow afternoon. Now, I talked about this on the news the other day. That energy that's moving in, the greatest lift is actually out ahead of it, Zach. It's not even right over it. It's ahead of it. And so you're going to notice there that as that energy swings in, there's just round and round and round of storms. So their prediction for Saturday, okay, our prediction is warmer. We'll talk about that. Another thing is they are going off of computer models, and we know that the biases of computer models have been a little underdone. Now, there is the chance that, maybe the rain continues longer than expected, and our temperatures could be off. We'll take a look at that. But, Zach, you made the forecast, and you were looking at that, and you're just like, maybe those temperatures will be a little warm because we get a break in the action,
Yeah, if we get a break in the action, if the sun pops out a little bit, it will definitely be warmer. But if the clouds hang on and if we get steady rain throughout the day, then it might be cooler.
Then we're looking at 60s. Now, this is that Sunday system. See how it kind of starts getting blue and white colors? That's a stronger spin in the atmosphere. And then this system flings in. You can see that upper level energy. That gets really close to us. So Southwest Missouri probably will have severe weather potential, and we will as well, but the greater forcing will be a little bit north. Now, keep in mind, this is just a model. A couple days ago, this thing was looking like it was going through Nebraska. Now it's a lot farther south. So that is why our forecast can differ so much, is that we know how that energy works. And Baja Blast energy, you see it all the time. Models way underdo the amount of precipitation. Like, for instance, I'll give you an example here. But before I do, I want to look at I want to show you the vorticity heights with the GFS. So here's the spin. There's just so much energy. Look at all that stuff. And all that's coming from west of Mexico in the Eastern Pacific. There's no modeling sounding data there. No weather balloons, no aircrafts that are flying through there. They have satellite technology, but it's not great. And so, anyways, look at all that energy swinging, and that's a lot farther south right there. So the GFS is showing maybe a stronger storms on Sunday. So that system looks a little bit more impressive. Hey, we got Blaze on here. What's going on, Blaze? Blaze loves the weather.
Yeah.
Going to be a meteorologist here pretty soon, and graduating from Mississippi State University. So, anyways, we got this system coming through, and then after that swings out, we'll see more storms. Now, let me take you through the European model. European model does an okay job with Baja Blast energy, but not perfect. And so there's a look at it. Kind of shows more of a break during the afternoon. I think this is underdone, honestly, because the HRRR is a little bit finer resolution. And look at all the storms that really pop up Saturday night. So there's the good ghost hunting weather. And then you're going to see more storm activity. Now, here's where the energy really starts to fling in. And this just gets slower and slower every time, Zach.
Yeah, now it's 6 o'clock.
So that could be a little bit of tornado potential that we'll have to watch. It all depends on the amount of instability. Like how much fuel are we going to have available for these thunderstorms? Because we can look at the Cape and you'll see that. Now, remember, this is surface-based Cape. Right now we have Cape, but essentially we're just very capped right now. We're not going to see any storms. We also don't have any forcing. Now, here's the instability for Friday. And you can see this cold front dropping south. That's still a lot of instability, Zach. So that all that stuff could form thunderstorms. And look at how that just continues to fuel over our area.
Yeah.
That is just a recipe for extremely heavy rain and flash flooding. And then you're going to notice here, as this energy swings in, this is when you have a little increase in instability. And that's where I think we get a little bit more energy. So if we look at the significant or supercell composite parameter, I'd be wondering to show, what does it show to the north for those supercells? Let's look real quick. How did this do? Yeah, might be a little underdone. We might need to adjust these numbers, but we have it like really filtered out pretty good, I think, Zach. Because you don't want to show every single thing. We only want to show when it really needs it. So there's the supercell composite. It doesn't really show up over us, a little blip, and then it kind of moves east. So not anything over spectacular, but I think the GFS is a little bit less on the instability. Let's look at the supercell composite with the European. So, Zach, while I'm doing that, I know we got some questions here.
Yeah, I see Alexis is asking about ghost hunting weather. Yeah, we were just saying, thunder in the background, some, dark clouds, kind of spooky vibes is kind of what we were thinking there. Yeah, not anything like, as far as the science goes, you're going to have to ask Josh Marshall.
Well, I think it's just for video purposes when you're recording and you got lightning flashes, and it just kind of just makes it eerie.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
So this is the supercell index from the European, and you can see that shows a lot more. So this is Friday night, Saturday morning. But see how it gets sapped? So we don't see a whole lot of supercell potential, but that doesn't mean that we won't see rain. And then watch what happens on Sunday. That's going to probably build back up. And there it is. It's coming right back in during the late morning, early afternoon. Okay, so I was going to show you this. This is we're going to go back to the timing here real quick. But I want to show you the graph model. So this is the graph model, which is probably way underdone. But nevertheless, you get to see how it's showing storm activity. So this is pretty quiet during the afternoon, evening, night. Finally, storms start to develop. I just think this is underdone. Well, it's finally got some thunderstorms popping up, but notice how it doesn't have much over northwest Arkansas.
Yeah.
and really doesn't show much turn in the afternoon. If this happens, that won't be too bad. But we know more energy swinging in, so there's got to be additional storms. I just think that doesn't spell moderate
then
risk.
Sunday morning.
So Saturday night, there's the storms popping up, but now that might be a little interesting right there.
Yeah.
So Saturday night and a Sunday morning, and then this is what Zach and I were watching, kind of like a line of storms
That kind of
comes
has it
in.
lifting north. The HRRR is a lot different.
Well, hold on, there's another one.
Another one. Oh,
Yeah.
that's new. Yeah, so Easter Sunday, that could be the main events here.
Yeah. And I think so, with that energy swinging in and it becoming negative tilt, we can actually show you this with the jet stream. This is a large, large system. I mean, if you look at it with water vapor, you're going to notice here a lot of energy moving in. Big, huge upper level spin. There's all that Baja Blast energy. Look at all that. No way models are predicting everything, every single wave on that perfectly. And then also, too, there were some explosive thunderstorms, western Iowa and northern Nebraska. You can see those supercells right there, just exploding right there over Omaha. But the reason I'm showing you that is just a little bit of subtle energy moves in and thunderstorms form. So let's go back to here and go back to our view to the southwest, and then we'll show you the jet stream energy that's moving in. So one thing I'm a little hesitant on with this system is it is kind of lifting more northerly. And so I could see a scenario where storms develop Friday and they remain basically to the northwest until early Saturday morning, where we don't get a whole lot of rain during the day at all.
But if that happens, then the instability for Saturday morning will be a bit higher.
Yep, that's right. So there's a cause and effect. Here is a look at the jet stream. Big old positively tilted trough. Because remember, if you have a person that's walking from left to right, it's tougher to walk uphill. So if I split that trough axis in half, it's kind of sloping from bottom left to upper right when looking at a weather map. So if I have a person and I'm walking, and we know walking or running, Zach, uphill, it's a lot tougher, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
So it's tougher for this system to move. And there I am going up the hill, essentially. It's just an example. But watch what happens over time as that system starts to turn more positive to negative tilt right here. So now we take that trough axis and we split it, and now look at what's happening. See how it's got a different tilt to it? So if I'm a person and I'm running, guess what? I'm running downhill. I'm going to have a lot easier of a time. That all that energy is flinging out. Also, look at the separation of the winds. You got winds out of the west, and then you got winds out of the north. That just causes a tremendous amount of rising motion, which is why those thunderstorms will pop up. Okay, what's this here? Not exactly sure on that. Don't see an enhanced risk for Northwest Arkansas.
Well, I think you might be asking, do we think they'll upgrade it?
Oh, I think for Sunday, yeah. I do think for Sunday.
Morning.
So let's talk about those individual risks, because I know you guys were asking about the Storm Prediction Center risks. This is the risk right here. If you'll notice, it's a super large area. And that's because anywhere along that line, there could be thunderstorms that are severe. But there's no real major focus with it. So the timing of this is basically Friday night into Saturday morning. And then you go farther south and the storms aren't as much in coverage. However, there could be one or two storms that ride that level one that could be pretty intense. So all hazards will be possible. If we look at the individual threats for this, you'll notice that tornado threat is low. This is the day 2 convective outlook, by the way. And then large hail and damaging winds. There's your different areas right there. But see how it's very low, but it's not zero. So that'll be something that we have to watch. And then if we look at the rainfall forecast, and the Weather Prediction Center, it seems like these are being issued a lot as of late, but rightfully so. We've had a lot of flooding. And so there's a look at level 2 and level 1. And then there's a level 3. Now, Zach, a level 3 on a day 3, that's pretty significant.
Yeah, that's pretty rare.
That doesn't happen very often. What a level 3 means is that widespread flash floods are possible. On and off strong thunderstorms could lead to significant flash flooding. It's a favorable pattern for heavy rain. We know there's going to be storms. My pool better not flood again, or I'm going to be just not happy. And we know the weather pattern is going to be very active. So let's get to some other questions here. All right, let's see here. Answered that. Man, is there WrestleMania this weekend, Zach?
I don't know.
Edward would know. Ooh, Arrowhead Speedway races. Now, I think that this is, I'm not mistaken, that might be west of Siloam Springs. So that might be an issue. Yeah, it could be some thunderstorms, definitely in western sections of the coverage area. I'm going to be at a concert in Tulsa Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday, definitely going to be storming in Tulsa. So, but probably an indoor concert. Okay, here is a question here. It watches updates. I don't notice alerts. When Storm Shield and being mobile locksmith notifies me something coming where I'm located. Yeah. Do you see an enhanced risk? We got to that. And there was a question about polygons. Here it is. Does the KNWA app issue warning in the polygons county? It doesn't do by county, but it doesn't do by polygon either. It's by essentially the zip code. So I don't know how close it is. I do know one thing that is very close and only issues, warning if you're in the polygon, and that's Weather Call Next Gen. Weather Call Next Gen will call you if you're in the polygon. And you can go to knwa.com, click on weather, and you'll see Weather Next Gen, and then you can get that. Yeah. I just showed the risk. We'll show the day 3 risk as well. There's no tornado watches right now. We're just doing this way, way out in advance. Low-level instability is lacking on Saturday, but it does come back on Sunday, and there is some low-level instability Friday night. So that's why that tornado potential is there. So we got to watch that. We'll close out with the 7-day forecast. Again, we'll have more updates throughout the day tomorrow. There is a blog, by the way, that has the latest information, which will be outdated here in a couple hours.
We'll probably do a new one tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll have a live blog ready to go. There's a look at the 7-day forecast. So, yeah, we've got storms. Good Friday, tomorrow morning. Storms moving in the evening. Saturday, lower 70s. Sunday, lower 70s. And the reason we're going a little warmer than the Weather Channel is because we think maybe there might get a little bit of a break. But if it doesn't happen, we'll probably stay in the 60s.
Yeah.
So look at this. More people loving Weather Call Next Gen.
Yeah.
Really is a great service. In fact, we'll bring that up here real quick. Now, it is $1 a month, which isn't very much. I mean, think about all the coffees you buy, which is like basically $12 a coffee.
Yeah, it's 1 year.
Yeah, this is 1 year. So this is called Weather Call Next Gen. It's a service that's it's been around for a while, but they've kind of revamped it to let you know about extreme thunderstorm warnings, like such as destructive or catastrophic, and so and considerable and destructive. So you got crucial warnings for only your location within the polygon. Weather Call provides up-to-the-minute phone calls, text, emails to keep you safe during severe weather. It also calls landline phones. So if you're in the rural country, you don't have good cell service, it's one of the only services I know that will call landline phones. Also gives you lightning strikes and safety recommendations. And so there's the website right there, weathercallservices.com/KNWA-NextGen. You can go to the KNWA page and then you click on weather. We are going to make a QR code. I've got that. I just haven't made it yet. We've been adding a few different things, and so. Oh yeah. Okay, Brooke. Great question. How much rain are we going to get? Well, the Weather Prediction Center has quite a bit, and we'll show you that when it loads. So here is, stand by here. Yeah, that's a great point right there. Olivia says no other weather apps, because if you're in the rural area, such as Clyde, you probably won't get any notifications, but that calls landlines and we'll call you. But here is your question, Brooke. Do we have a range Northwest Arkansas is supposed to get? It's a lot. 3 to 7. You look at that contour, that's 5 to 7 all across basically eastern Oklahoma. And this is 2 days out. So flood watch has already been issued. I don't even know. Did we show that, Zach? I don't think we did.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do have
There
a
it
flood
is.
watch that's already out. And this starts at 7 o'clock tomorrow night and goes throughout Sunday, 7 o'clock. So 48 hours of rainfall expected. So I did 2 inches just in case the storms maybe don't happen as far east. So anyways, that is it. That gives you, I guess, all the information. And I hope everybody has a great rest of your Thursday. What's 18 minutes left of it?
We'll be back on tomorrow for more.
Yeah, we're gonna be
Potentially.
gonna be
And
covering
then probably
a lot.
Saturday, then probably Sunday, and probably every day.
That's right. And Brian says that he survived the Joplin tornado. Now, there's a documentary I'm in the middle of watching it. My son's probably
Yeah.
like, "Where are you?" But it was pretty good from what we were seeing so far in the Twister, surviving the Twister. Yeah, Joplin tornado was something else. So, can that happen in Northwest Arkansas? It's possible. I think that we saw what can happen on May 26th. Storms like that can happen here. They sure can. So, all right, guys, take care. God bless. Have a good one. No lightning to close out this one, but tomorrow night we'll do the lightning closeout. So, because you'll be hearing that as well. All right, you'll be hearing the thunder. Take care. God bless. And don't forget the reason for Good Friday.
Yeah.
And Easter weekend. All right, take care.